three things that when India went from an extreme of Nehruvian license Raj to privatization, we kind of forgot. And I think we got lucky with services exports, which kind of papered over many of our intrinsic imbalances in the economic model. So what do I mean by that? India has only about 2,000 kilometers of expressways, whereas both America and China have more than 100,000 kilometers of expressways. An expressway is an access-controlled multi-lane road. There is no expressway east of Lucknow in India today, maybe barring the Hyderabad ring road. So in the most densely populated part of not just India, but perhaps the world, eastern UP, Bihar, Bengal, where the population density is easily north of 1,000 people per square kilometer. Just to give you an example, 1,000 people per square kilometer is the density of greater New York City. And this is the density of eastern UP, Bihar, Bengal, perhaps all of UP. And we don't have a single expressway. Because for 70 years, we focused too much on public sector enterprises, on import substitution of a kind where we did not allow foreign investment. So what we are missing is a coherent Indian strategy because of our various confusions. There were 4 elements that the US and then Germany and then China and Japan used to catch up with the UK. They were very simple. First, have a functioning state, have physical infrastructure for transportation, and have one internal market. Number 2, have some moderate external tariffs. Number 3, have universal primary education. Number 4, have a functioning financial system. Now, in India, for the first time after perhaps millennia, we have one unified non-colonial state, and now with the GST, we don't have internal tariffs. So it makes sense to have economies of scale in India, because earlier it was easier to trade for Mumbai to trade with California than Mumbai to trade with Delhi. But now we have a situation where we can use the benefits of being one large continental-sized civilizational nation state, and we can have the economies of scale out of that. Secondly, have a moderate external tariff. The Chinese economy is right now 5 times bigger than ours, and the manufacturing sector is twice as a percentage of GDP for them. Therefore, overall, it is 10 times larger than our manufacturing sector. If we have no tariffs, in the short term, we cannot survive the Chinese manufacturing competition. And without some tariffs, without some what you might call Neo-Swadeshi economics, it is difficult for India to go to the next step of economic growth. Because agriculture in India has 40% of the people. In America or UK, it might be 1 or 2% of the people. The technology for only 1 or 2% of the Indians to produce the food for the rest of Indians is already there. It need not be invented. The question is, do we have the human capital, do we have the economic opportunities for that 38, 39% of people who would be freed from inefficient agriculture today to join manufacturing, services, and other productive sectors? That is the issue. Third, have universal literacy. When Jawaharlal Nehru became the Prime Minister of India, the focus was on higher education. That was important. But what we missed till fairly recently, and perhaps it started under Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee's Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, was a focus on universalizing education. And without universal education, even for more technical manufacturing, even for basic services, it is difficult for somebody from a farming family to make a switch to those sectors of employment. And finally, fourth, after having one large internal market with no internal tariffs and infrastructure, secondly, after having some moderate external tariffs, third, having universal literacy, fourth is to have a functioning financial system. When people speak of big bang reforms and where are the reforms, according to some people, because for them only privatizing Air India is the only reform that counts. The reform that has really mattered a lot along with GST under the Modi regime is the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code. By allowing debt capital to move out of promoters who are either inefficient or corrupt, I'm not saying necessarily corrupt all the time, to more entrepreneurial promoters for new companies will make a world of a difference to Indian banking, Indian financial allocation, and Indian economic growth.